The Kennedys, an American dynasty, the Kardashians of the Capitol.
We choose to go to the moon.
For over a century, the steady hand of the Kennedy family has led America through its greatest challenges.
The hope still lives, and the dream shall never die.
They aren't just in politics, they are politics.
Ich bin ein Springfielder.
And in 2024, our abnormal times call for an abnormal Kennedy.
I don't like wearing shoes. I never have.
This is the daily showography of Robert F. Kennedy Jr., immune to normal. Bobby Kennedy Jr. was born in 1954 into the most prestigious clan of... Wait, is that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Chris Pratt? How powerful is this family? Anyway, there he is. There. The third of Senator Robert Kennedy's 11 children, and the one lucky enough to share his name. Despite his proximity to power, Bobby Jr. wasn't initially drawn to the family business.
Have you committed yourself to a political future? I don't think so. We can't all go into politics.
It would turn out to be the first of many things he would be wrong about. As a young man, Bobby's unique personal story landed him a spot at Harvard. Such amazing luck. After studying law at the University of Virginia, he became an assistant district attorney in Manhattan before pausing to take part in a personal research trial of a promising new drug called heroin. Rehab and court-ordered community service had him cleaning up both himself and pollution in the Hudson River, which led him to a career in environmental law.
The project that I work on is river protection.
While most environmentalists are about as effective as a Trump gag order, RFK Jr. was massively successful, winning huge cases with his team of young law students and earning him the title Hero for the Planet. And that's the end of this great man's story. Wait, there's more? Oh, shit.
A year ago.
In 2005, a woman came to RFK Jr. with an unbelievable story. Her son had gotten autism from childhood vaccines. And while normal people don't believe unbelievable stories, Kennedy was sold. After doing his own research, he published his findings in the acclaimed medical journal Rolling Stone, where it was the second most important article of the month. Despite having been completely wrong, Kennedy doubled down.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Indeed, he developed a natural immunity to all criticism.
You said previously that no vaccine is safe or effective, which is...
I've never said that.
You did say that in a podcast interview in July.
As his ideas spread and spread and spread, RFK Jr. gained potency. For him, this fight is personal. You can hear it in his voice.
We ought to be debating the science.
Which was damaged by a neurological condition called spasmodic dysphonia. While doctors weren't sure how he contracted the disease, Kennedy did his own research and, surprise, blamed his annual flu shots.
It occurred to me that this might be a vaccine injury. I don't know, but it's certainly a possibility.
Hey, who hasn't gone on WebMD and thought, oh shit, I definitely have that. And then came his big moment. The COVID vaccine. When RFK Jr. rolled up his sleeves, it was to fight.
It's the deadliest vaccine ever made.
As one of the most influential voices against vaccines, he truly put the flu in influencer.
Mainstream media.
And that's when the censorship started.
And I've been silenced in, many, many ways.
In the face of this silencing, there was only one thing Kennedy could do to get his message out.
I've come here today to announce my candidacy for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States.
Kennedy could deny his fate no longer. Like a microchip from the COVID vaccine, politics was in his DNA. And compared to his rivals, Kennedy isn't just fit for office. He's straight up jacked for it.
You've gone viral, not only with your message, but just your sheer masculinity.
Take that, Big Pharma. This is a level of physical fitness you only get from clean living, natural foods,
Don't take testosterone replacements.
Okay, so he takes little steroids, but it's organic, farm-to-table steroids.
When I started this campaign...
Normally, a Kennedy on the ballot would coast on his family name, but Bobby Jr. is not normal. Partly because much of his family is actually opposing him, especially after he dropped out of the Democratic primary to run as an independent, but also because this Kennedy is a man of the people. living simply in Hollywood with Larry David's wife.
Okay.
And yes, he has name recognition, but he also has broad appeal, championing liberal ideas, conservative ideas, and every conspiracy theory known to man.
COVID-19 attacks certain races. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese.
All the greatest hits.
5,000 satellites alone. We'll be able to look at every square inch of the
That's
planet.
why 9 out of
24
10
hours a day.
alternative thinkers recommend RFK Jr. for President of the United States.
A conspiracy theory is just something the government doesn't want you to hear.
There's nothing normal about the 2024 election. And in a contest between a professional courtroom sketch model and a grandpa who wandered away from his family at the mall, Kennedy is still somehow the least normal candidate.
Somebody snapped him walking the aisles, heading to the bathroom without any shoes or socks.
Well, that's one way to do your own research. And that's why America needs to inject Robert F. Kennedy Jr. straight into its bloodstream.
Side effects of RFK Jr. include nausea, measles, mumps, rubella, chickenpox, monkeypox, polio, and COVID-19.